And we have in the studio with us Mrs. Harriet Ojegba, here to talk about her upcoming book launch and her recently published book titled The Night After Wedding, and includes short stories as well. Now, Harriet Ojegba is a writer, a motivational speaker, and the women choice relationship, especially for young single Christian girls. Her passion is to help women in all aspects of relationships to make them realize that success in marriage doesn't come merely by getting married to the right mate, but you being the right mate as well. And I'm smiling because it looks like I actually sort of, I was a seer. I could see into what you were going to talk about. They say great minds think alike. So yes, I was practically talking, almost about what your book is all about.
Beautiful.
Okay. So Harriet, good morning.
Good morning as well.
Thank you so much for joining us in the show.
Thank you so much.
About your book titled The Night After the Wedding. The Night After Wedding.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you can see from the name, it's so captivating, fascinating. It speaks volume of himself, It's actually preparing the young girls for marriage.
Okay.
Because there's something I actually noticed about young women, When you actually ask them, some of the things they're looking for in a man, they have a lot of things to talk about, I want the Prince Charming, trustworthy, God-fearing, honest, and all that. But when you look at these girls and ask them if these qualities they're asking for a man is in them, it's not. For crying out loud. You can't give what you don't have. It's not possible. You have to have this in yourself for you to give it out to some other persons, So I took my time because most girls are misled, They are so clueless about what marriage is all about, They all actually feel that the wedding ceremony is the marriage itself.
Okay.
They're ignorant of what this whole thing is all about. Some will tell you that the elaborateness of the wedding will determine the success of the marriage. But it's not. It's not true.
Okay.
Some people assume that the marriage itself is the wedding ceremony.
Okay.
But it's not. Even me, when I was growing up as a little girl, when I became a teenager, I also drew a sketch of who I wanted my husband to be. Very broad shoulders, tall, charming, and all that. I did a lot of rehearsals. I chose my wedding gown even before the marriage.
Wow.
With a lot of wrong stuff in our head and all that. But the luck I had a good parent, that heritage background. I actually told myself on that day that I was going to use a convertible. Well, I can open the roof of the car.
Whoa, you had big dreams.
Yes, I have big dreams, my husband sits by my side. I'm going to be the pilot of that car.
Wow.
I drive my husband to the reception. And as I'm going, my veils and everything is flying and all that. I feel cool with myself, actually, But on that day, everything really fits perfectly.
Okay.
But there's something I didn't see on that day.
What was that?
Was the convertible. I didn't get it. I was so disgusted. Wow. I told my brother, please go to Benin. You have to hire this car because I must use it. I've been planning for all the things since I became a teenager to this age. No, I must get it. But along the line, something came into my mind and touched me that, look, all these preparations for something that's at least most 6 hours. Why not shining all this attention to prepare to become a wife? That's something that's just about less than 6 hours. You're done. You should prepare for. You should shine all this effort in preparing to be a wife. Than just the wedding day. The wedding day starts. So like an author said, the wedding ceremony is just an introductory part of marriage. Yes, it is. But most girls, after looking at beautiful pictures on Facebook and all that, husband and wife, the wedding that is so organized, invite Donald Trump to your wedding. The elaborateness of a wedding will never, ever, I repeat, determine the success of your marriage.
Right. And I think
the success of your marriage, it is your preparation.
And I think that's really true because, these days you see a lot of, especially celebrities.
Yes,
these are people who, on the pages of the newspaper, social media, you're seeing pictures. In fact, you want to be like them. You're like, oh my God, this is a dream wedding, Prince Charming and all of that. But a few months down the line, for some of them, example, Tonto DK, we have, there's another lady, can't remember her name right now. I've been seeing so many of these trends. A few months down the line, maybe a year down the line, their marriages have, broken up. They are talking about issues in their marriage. So what would you say are some of the things, the preparations that ladies, need to have, young girls need to have before they get into marriage?
Yeah. There's a saying that when preparation meets with opportunity, the end result is success. If you have not planned, if you fail to plan, you have planned to fail already. There's no two ways about it. In everything in life, people prepare for it. The same life is in phases, and men are in phases. As a single girl, you're in a particular phase right now, and the best time to begin to prepare for marriage is when you are single. It's just like when you go to university, I want to bang a first class or a 2-1. What do? You burn your candles. You ignore every pledges of the world because you know what you want. So likewise, marriages as well. I tell young girls, it's the same thing. If you want to be successful, you have to prepare for marriage. And the first thing I tell every young woman when preparing for marriage is to acquire knowledge.
Okay.
It is very, very important. The Bible says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, you don't know what marriage is all about, there's no way you can succeed in this whole game.
Okay.
You need to read books. Look at the biblical principles. Do you know when problems started in marriage? When men begin to write the principles and guidance that suits them rather than putting their hope and their interest on the biblical principle. I was not the author of marriage. God is the author of marriage. I've just written this book. And I don't think someone else will come and tell me, no, Harriet, I know this book better than you do. No. So has God Almighty. He's giving us instructions. It's just like a manufacturer. When he manufactures a maybe rechargeable lantern, it tells you something. Look, there's a guideline. But you know, Nigerians and we Africans, the first time you take the pack, the first thing you throw in the dustbin is the guidelines, the leaflets. You don't want to read. It says charge this light for 24 hours before usage. But you didn't read it. The first thing you did when there was a lights out, you plugged this in, and after 2 days, it packed up, and you were angry. Because there are guidelines to all these things. But when men begin to deviate from the solid rock of the biblical truth to the modern philosophy, things that suits them, the problems arise in marriage. So the first thing is to acquire knowledge. What is marriage all about? Marriage is a journey you've never embarked on before. You need the map, the geography of your destination in order for you to arrive successfully without asking questions. Because you can be misled. Connect yourself with women, advanced women who have also gone through this thing successfully. So this book is going to expose them to a lot of things they can never ever imagine. Because sometimes our parents are not also getting it right.
Yeah, sure.
What are the moral codes and standard of values you're passing on to your children? But they don't know. Do you blame them? Well, you can't give what you don't have, for crying aloud. They don't know. So this book is also going to expose the mothers to things they're supposed to know. Even the fathers. Your child is 18 plus. Is watching television with you, and your mother is in the kitchen with the maid. The moral codes that you're supposed to pass on to this girl, you're giving it to the maid, and you feel you're punishing the maid. No. These codes, these values should be passed to your daughters. I keep telling women, the earlier you start concentrating your attention on your bank account, concentrate more on your value accounts, because it will pay you more.
Wow. It
will pay you more, definitely.
Okay.
Then the second one, I expect a girl child to know before marriage, is to cultivate character.
Okay.
Cultivate character. There's a quotation, there's a quote I wrote. I said, the beauty of a woman cannot sustain her husband's love over time. No, it doesn't. It is a value that she brings to the life of the man and people around him that sustains that beauty for a very long time. So you must develop character. Are you a lady that gets angry easily? You are proud, cocky, self-centered, nobody talks to you? My dear, the best time to throw that character to the dustbin, it is now when you are still single. Because when you take those characters into marriage, it is capable of destroying your marriage within a twinkle of an eye. Just as you make your bed, so shall you lie on it.
Okay. Mrs. Harriet Ojegba is still here in the studio, and she will take your calls right now. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, your text in the studio, oh my God. If we have that
the men will love you, I know.
We love you so much. That is how my wife will hear this.
Thank you.
The house will be a peaceful one, because that has always been our problem.
Okay.
A woman will do something, it's not what they say, sorry for what you we even grow annoyed more than you that is it. I mean, and you are sounding as if you are a man. I'm just surprised. I've never heard of this kind of woman before. Madam, where do you say your venue is? I beg. I must make sure I get that your book.
Di Martel Go to Tell.
I'm very, very pleased.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, Chris, thank you so much for calling. So the venue once again is?
Yeah, Di Martel Go to Tell, Stadium Road, Rumamasi, Port Harcourt.
Port Harcourt, okay.